Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, finding it useful, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help out. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified. But welcome back to another stream, guys. Hope everyone is well. As always, we'll go through comments, chats, requests. We'll take a look at them all, or at least eventually. What's up, Blessing? Yes, we'll go through dollar, yen, euro, USD, pounds, euro, and Z. We'll take a look. William, good morning. Hope you're well. Welcome. Game City, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Morning, Anis. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, FX Wolf, Sculpey. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Morning, Katana. Welcome to the stream. Darktron, welcome. Fikasande, welcome to the stream. So yeah, guys, we'll go through a bunch of pairs. As you can see on the screen, I am in a position. I was eyeing up pound USD this week for some longs, and I finally found an entry for it. I say finally, so it's only Wednesday. But yeah, price has come back to test my first area of interest, which is this daily level resistance here. Really nice level in the market. Did hold as resistance a couple of times if you count that wick there as well, but at least mainly this time here as well. And we've had a pretty clean break of that high. So I'm looking to see if we can retest and possibly get that next continuation if pound USD wants to continue that trend, and possibly move back to the high. As always, I will be trading my stop loss, so the target is a bit theoretical. Probably will be trailed out before then, but if things go to plan, and we see some nice momentum, possibly could be looking to swing it back to the high. But I've entered on this candle here. So after this candle close, really like the wick to the downside there. Really nice confident candle closure. So I've hopped into the trade on that candle there. So we'll see how things go. I'll start managing the trade a little bit closer as we push into profit, maybe around these areas here. Probably lock in some gains, and then if we can take out this mess, then we should be in for a nice run. But we'll see how that position gets going. But yeah, pound USD was definitely a pair at the top of my watch list this week, along with a couple of others, which I'll get through in the moment, but they haven't really shaped up. So nothing really to report on that end. But pound USD is looking good, so I've hopped into a long position on that one. But yeah, I'll go through a bunch of pairs because there's quite a few requests at the moment. So yeah, I will take a look at dollar, yen, euro, USD, pound, NZD, and euro NZD first. Okay. So yeah, with the yen pairs, we did see a lot more downside yesterday, which was quite early hours of this morning. We did see a pretty big drop. Excuse me, pretty big drop there. So things are looking pretty bearish for the yen pairs, and some are looking a bit more bearish than others. Again, we've got some real critical levels we're approaching with some of the yen pairs, and I'll touch upon them in a moment. But you can see this swing low here for dollar yen anyway. This is the low which gave us a really big run to the high, and of course higher highs, and our prices pull back all the way to that level. If we were to start breaking through that, again, I'm not necessarily expecting the market to completely melt and completely reverse, but I do think we'll probably see a lot more downside. Again, as I was touching upon yesterday, I think we'll go for a bigger pullback, maybe something like this, which will be worthwhile to be looking for shorts in the meantime. And then maybe eventually we do put that higher low in at some later date and we push to the upside. So again, the major swing highs and swing lows, you got this swing low here, you got the swing high here, you got the swing low down here. This is the swing low which made this high. So this, on the higher time frames, more like the weekly chart, this could be viewed as a really nice swing to create a new high. So technically speaking, we could pull back anywhere within here and still continue that trend in the higher time frames, more like weekly or monthly chart. So the overall direction is still up, but based on how price is moving, I do think we probably can see more downside, maybe for the next few days, maybe a week or two, before we do print in that next higher low, or at least try to anyway. So yeah, for dollar yen, really strong move to the downside. We have come back into some support here. So I do think some buyers will be looking to get back involved. Will I look to buy this? No. As I've said, I've lost a lot of confluence here with the yen pairs in terms of the buys. So for me, if I'm looking to take a trade with the yen pairs at the moment, I'd rather be looking for some sells rather than buys. I do think we can see some retracement, yes, but going forward for dollar yen, I think we'll probably see some upside, a lower higher form, and probably some more downside. So maybe if you're looking for some short-term buys because the market's a bit stretched, we might see a bounce. We're coming to a nice low, so buys do make sense from that perspective. But yeah, I wouldn't try and anticipate, okay, we're going back to the high now. I think that's a bit optimistic to view it that way. But for me anyway, I would expect to see retracement at least from this low. But I think there's a good chance we've put another lower high and we come right back down. So yeah, I would watch out for that. Excuse me. So yeah, watch out for that. But dollar yen not looking too great. So and I'll go through the rest of the yen pairs because they're not looking much better either. But that's what I'll be expecting next. In terms of Euro USD, so yeah, Euro USD has been pretty bearish. It is in an area which I would like to long from. 1.084. This is the area I was talking about on Monday and on my weekly analysis as well. I said coming back into this range here, this is a nice place where we could see price bounce and possibly some upside. However, pound USD looked a lot better, so I'm trading pound USD at the moment. We'll see how that one goes, but I'm not going to look to trade pound USD and euro because it's pretty much the same position. So yeah, I'll just trade pound USD. We'll see what happens with that position here. If I wasn't trading pound USD and pound USD didn't look good, then I'll be looking at opportunities here for euro on the hourly chart to try and catch some buys. At the moment, not really seeing much here. Had a bit of consolidation, kind of Asian session towards the end of the day. Big push down there, London. So I want to see some evidence of some wicks forming and some nice momentum coming back in. A nice bullish engulfing candle, something like that. Excuse the poor drawing, but you know what I mean. And that would be my entry trigger to get into the trade. But right now, there's nothing really happening there on the hourly chart, at least. And I wouldn't drop below the hourly chart to try and find an entry. If anything, waiting for a 4-hour engulfing could be a really nice signal as well. Maybe the risk reward might not be as good, but still a nice signal and a nice place for an entry. So yeah, Euro USD, I'm looking for something like this, at least back to this area here. Whether we continue through that or we come right back down, that's a different question. But I do think we are in an area where we can see some upside. You can see previously, last time we were here, a lot of consolidation and a really big move to the upside there. So looking for buyers to step back into the market and see if we can take us higher. So yeah, Euro USD, nice place for a buy. Just waiting on some evidence that we're holding, which we're kind of lacking at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for euro. In terms of pound NZD and euro NZD, these have been even more bullish, haven't they? Yeah, flown higher. So with euro NZD, are we at the high yet? Not quite, but not far away. So yeah, after we broke through this high, I said we might see a pullback because the market is quite stretched. We've just taken out major high. We probably could see a bit of a dip there, but we didn't. The market is just far too bullish. But I said the next target probably will be the swing high there because looking at the higher time frames, particularly the weekly chart, it looks like this bullish trend is still just at play right now and is likely to come back into the swing high, maybe even form another one. So with USD, if you're looking for shorts, I would start looking for shorts from 1.83, 83867. This is where I would start looking to sell the market from because once we're back in that high, we probably can see a little bit of a relief since the market is still very, very stretched as well. Haven't seen much of a pullback and we're coming back into a really strong high as well. So I do expect to see some type of relief, but of course we'll wait for the price action to tell us because we could still break through like we did over here. So waiting for the price action to show evidence of rejection is very, very important. But for now, I wouldn't really look to do much because we've broken through the high here. I know we're kind of reacting to some levels there on the left, but nothing really of significance for me. It would either be this high or that high, which I'd look to sell from. So I'd kind of wait for price to push up higher. Or if we're just going to see a pullback before then there might be some opportunities to ride that trend for another push higher. So that could look interesting as well. But for now, Yeah, I would keep an eye out for some sales closer to 1.838, and then we can start looking to see if we can take some shorts. Not really my type of trade, a little bit too aggressive because momentum is very bullish, but it is definitely a big level, which I do think the market will react from. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. UNSD, pound NSD, even more upside. Even looking very bullish today as well. This is a daily chart. Are we at the wick high? Oh my word, we've taken out the wick, haven't we? Yeah, pound NSDs have just been so bullish, almost too bullish. So yeah, I remember when we were over here, I was talking about this level here. It just obliterated through that, and I was like, okay, don't worry, you'll probably get a decent pullback before this high. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, maybe a slight pullback there in the low time frames, but again, difficult to catch. And then we've just gone and taken out the wick high there as well. So I do think pound NZD is going to fall over pretty hard now. Because again, looking at the high time frames with pound NZD, it's not like we're in a long, beautiful uptrend here. The market's been very corrective. And now, the last time we were here, it was a massive wick and price came straight back down. It was COVID, but a really kind of erratic move there, and the market sold off pretty hard. So now that we're taking out that high, I do think it's going to be maybe a bit of consolidation, maybe push up a little bit higher. But I do think we're going to come down pretty hard as well. And looking at how the market's moving, we have these push, pullback, push. Looking at this as a pullback for another move down. So now that we take out that high, I think sales look really good, but we have to be patient because this could still fly another 100, 200 pips, and you don't want to be just shorting the market as it keeps going against you. So need to be looking for signs of reversals, as I was mentioning yesterday with pound CAD as well. If I drop to the 4 hour, we kind of want to see price start to stall, maybe some double tops come in, some lower lows and lower highs, and then we can find some trades on the way down. I don't want to be the first person trying to look to short this because, like I said, we could still do another 100, 200 pips if price wanted to. But yeah, we are very stretched. We've taken out some key highs. I do think the bigger move now is likely to the downside. Just need to wait for opportunities to actually trade that. So yeah, just need to wait for opportunities to trade it. But yeah, way too bullish. Okay, so where was I? We'll take a look at NAS and we'll go through gold and silver as well. We'll take a look at Euro Yen. I'll go through some more yen pairs. I took a look at dollar yen. We'll take a look at DXY as well. Went through Euro USD. Yeah, JPY is very strong at the moment. Very strong. It is not looking good for JPY. Actually, it is looking good for JPY. Hasn't been looking good for ages, but finally gained some strength. But yeah, we'll go through gold, silver, and NAS next. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yes, we're about to look at silver. Yes, we'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. What's up, Just Football? What's up, Manzondi? We'll take a look. All right, no problem, William. Have a good one, my man. Take care. What's up, Rick? Welcome to the stream. Okay, let me go through gold, silver, and NAS. Okay, so gold. So yeah, gold, we did see a bit of upside yesterday, which kind of was expected. Price was showing some really nice signs of rejection with these wicks here, and I really like this candle here, which closed, I think, just before the stream. Just before the stream yesterday. So really nice candle closure. However, as I said yesterday, I do think we'll probably have another move down. This to me still looks like a correction. After all of this momentum we had from last week, really strong move. This looks like a correction to me. I think it's quite a slim chance that gold just suddenly reverses bullish. Maybe if there was some big news coming up today. I mean, we got a bit of news today, but nothing crazy. We got a bit of PMI in the afternoon, but maybe like an NFP or maybe like a CPI even, or Fed interest rate, maybe something like that could get the ball really rolling. But yeah, I don't think it's likely that we suddenly just fly to the upside. I think there's a higher chance we'll probably see a continuation of this move. So impulse, correction, impulse. And then maybe from the next move down, we can start looking for some buys to take it up higher. And this way we've kind of got more of a corrective pullback, things a bit more developed. And I think we can take some higher lows there. So as I said yesterday, we could be seeing a move back down to this area, which then could be a really nice place for a buy. We've already reacted with this first area here where market has tapped into it, seen some upside. Let me clear my drawings. Seen some upside. So yeah, nice move higher, but I do think we'll probably see another move down as we approach this area here. Now, would I look to trade that move down? No, not really. I'm only looking for buys for gold. So if we don't move down, we don't move down. But if we do, fantastic. And I'll start looking for some buys on a double bottom or maybe a retest of this low, and we can see what price does after that. But yeah, my main target for gold is still a move back to the swing high at 24.78. So that's still very much the plan. But in terms of finding some good entries, looking for a double bottom or maybe a push lower, and then we can start to take some trades there. But yeah, still bullish, but this looks like a correction rather than a reversal. I could be wrong, but yeah, just how price is looking, it's very, very corrective. So I'm not sold on that being a big move higher. Silver, same thing as well. As I was touching on this one yesterday, I said I want to see a deeper test of this zone here. Another wick piercing through, that would be very nice, and then catch some buys on the flip. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Again, we've seen some nice rejection, yes, but nothing really crazy just yet. So I do think another move down is definitely a strong possibility based on how everything's moving. It might not wick through, might just come back to retest the same low and push up. But I do think another move down is likely. Again, for silver, I'm only looking for buys as well. I'm not really considering any longs, any sales for silver. I'm only interested in longs, only interested in buys for the moment. But as we approach this low, I'm looking for a strong double bottom. Or a big kind of bull flag, if you will. So that being the high, that being the low, might spike into the low a little bit and then be on our way. So something like that is what I'm interested in. I just want to see a deeper test. I'm not quite convinced with the price action right now. And what I would want to be waiting for is if you can pinch the low and then find some buys off the back of that. That would be something that would interest me. Same for gold as well. But yeah, looking for some buys, something like this, take the market higher. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold and silver. We'll go through some indices as well. Now, as we'll take a look at US 32. Excuse me. What's up, Pavinator? Excuse me. Throat is not playing ball today. Pavinator, what is up? Aussie dollar, massive bull run. You think it's going to go lower? Okay, I'll touch on Aussie dollar as well. Morning, Afisi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Sculpey, high time frame analysis. More, I do agree with gold. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm still very bullish on gold high time frames. Nothing's really changed in the high time frame in terms of the overall kind of market direction. Yes, we've kind of stalled at the highs a little bit and seen some rejection, but the general flow of things is to the upside. So I do think the market will continue higher. But at the same time, I'm not quite convinced that we're about to go now. I feel like we've probably got another move down in us. Again, I'm not speaking about certainties here. I'm just speaking about probabilities and trades that I want to take. So if we do see another move down, I feel like that could be the time and place to start looking for some entries. Basically looking for that next higher low, one over here, second over there, possibly a third, and then we might see some nice upside. And yeah, back to highs, and then we go from there. The only thing I don't like about gold on the higher time frames, I must say, is that we keep pinching the highs and we come straight back down. Pinch the high, straight back down. Not the healthiest trend in the world. It would be nice if we were breaking them a bit more convincingly and not having deep pullback straight away. So that's kind of my only worry with gold. But besides from that, everything's very, very bullish still. So yeah, From a swing point of view, only looking for buys. In terms of NAS, so NAS kind of a bit awkward. I was talking about some sells yesterday. I gave out a couple areas, this being one of them, and this being a second one. But unfortunately, price didn't get to those areas for the sell. So I said I'm looking for a pullback basically of this move to then take a short and then anticipate a pushback to the swing low. Now it kind of looks like price is almost already coming in there. So that ship kind of looks like it is sailed. So yeah, what's the next move? Next move, I'll kind of just wait to see what we can do at that low. Because if we go and take out that low, I think now we're coming back into bullish territory. So I'll be considering some longs, especially as we approach these areas here. Really nice consolidation, really nice high over there as well, which we broke through, never really had a retest of. So if we're to correctively fall over, I think this is a really nice place for a buy, of course, depending how we get there and depending what price does. But this is now more bullish territory. Up here is where you would like to take a sell. Unfortunately, we just didn't quite make that happen. So if we keep up this bearish momentum, that's kind of what I'll be looking at next. If we do have another move higher and we don't break through, then yeah, I would still say the sells are on from up there. We might just be going through like a more complex, deeper retracement. So that sell for me is still on the cards if we were to make that move. But if we were to keep pushing through, then this is more bullish territory now. And again, let's not forget higher time frames is still very bullish for NAS. So although it does look like we're going through a bit of a correction, I do think a higher low will form sooner or later, and we'll start looking bullish again. So the sales are only counter trend, only short term. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with NAS. And US 30, similar situation in terms of I'm looking at more downside, but again, looking for buys later on. That's a huge wick there on the weekly chart. So yeah, looking at some buys later on. I gave out a couple areas where buys look good. So number one was the retest of the high there. We're not quite there yet. And number two is talking about this area here as well. So that's kind of the areas where I would start to look for some buys and look to see if I can take price possibly back to the swing high, but effectively just trail stop losses and see how far we can take it. If not, then there are some targets over here which do make sense to take profit or take some partials at. But yeah, we're coming into bullish territory here. That prior high, really big move down that we flipped to support. If it doesn't hold, we've always got this second level below us where we could look to see some buys step into the market. So yeah, as we push lower, US 30, I'll be looking for buys. If NAS decides to push low as well, I'll start looking for buys too and see if we can take the indices back to the upside. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with those markets. In terms of some yen pairs, I'll take a look at euro yen. FX Wolf, euro yen hit take profit. Nice. Waiting for the retest to short more. Okay, so we'll go take a look at yen, euro yen. We'll take a look at euro CAD as well. Dollar CHF, just football sold USD CHF 0.891. Okay, we'll take a look at that as well. And then Aussie dollar, and there's a few more pairs afterwards we'll take a look at as well. But let me go through euro yen. And if I do miss out a pair, always just stick it in the chat. Okay, so yeah, euro yen, more downside for this one. So yeah, this is the one which is looking very, very interesting from a 4-hour perspective. Because we've really bled to the downside here, and we've just about spiked through this swing low here as well, which is not really a good sign. Now, it's not really a break of structure, but to me, it's a big sign that, okay, even though we had this massive swing to the upside, we completely erased all of that momentum. So it's kind of like a inverse V-shaped pattern, which is more of a sign of reversal rather than continuation. So I do think for euro yen that there is more downside to be had. So I do agree with you there, FX Wolf. I think we probably will see some retracement at some stage because number one, the market's quite stretched. We're coming to a big low. So this is, where buyers will be looking to step into the market. So I do think we can see some upside, but I do think the bigger move for now anyway is still going to be to the downside as well to probably go and take out that low. Again, if I scoot to like the daily or the weekly chart, we do have major swing highs here. So this was a swing high back over here. This was a swing low. This was a swing high over here, swing low, swing high. So again, effectively, we can pull back as deep as this and still put a higher low in somewhere and still continue that trend. So the trend is not really over in terms of the grand scheme of things. Again, the yen pairs have been trending to the upside for the past, well, at least from here for euro yen since 2020, since COVID. So we've been on an uptrend for about 4 years, and just because we've seen some downside over the past few days doesn't necessarily reverse that. No. It could be the reversal. We're yet to know for sure, but I wouldn't say, okay, longer term, the trend is over. However, at least on the 4-hour and below, I would expect more downside. And again, a lot of us are trading on the 4-hour and below. So that's kind of the moves we're interested in anyway. We can speak about going bullish again at a later date. But for now, after that momentum there, after that wick piercing that low, I think we probably will see some buyers step in, but I do think another move down. It would be very nice if the market was to come back and retest that low. I don't think we will. I think that will be a very generous move from euro yen. I think maybe this area here at best. I mean, if it does pull back even deeper, fantastic, but I just don't think we'll see such a big pullback. But I'll be looking at 169, 170 as areas where we could sell off and see another move down. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for euro yen. That's what I'm looking at. Again, the bigger move may still be back to the high, but for now, next few days, I do think we will continue to fall. So it's not looking too hot. Not looking too hot at all. Okay, so we'll go through USD CHF. We'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. So yeah, USD CHF, we've seen some downside. I actually was looking for a sell for this one yesterday. I forgot to mention USD CHF. I said pound USD and NZUSD were the dollar pairs I was looking at. It was actually USD CHF as well, but I completely forgot to touch upon it. But then the entry didn't even come in my time frame as well. It's been quite annoying. Quite a few opportunities the past 2 weeks have been outside of my hours. Again, I'm not going to just change them overnight because of this. Because in general, most of my best trades occur, prime London or prime New York session. But quite a few entries have occurred outside of that the past couple of weeks. I'll keep monitoring that, see how that continues, but it might just be a weird patch. But anyway, we came back to retest a really nice low here. A lot of momentum to the downside. I was looking for the retest of this low, and the entry came there at 7 p.m. And again, I'm not looking to take trades at that time, but it would be a nice entry. We even came back for a double top there, so that if you missed that first one, that would be a second entry there, but that occurred at 6 a.m. So that's just before I start looking at the charts in the morning. And before that, the market just completely dropped. So UCHF looking pretty bearish. If the market really wants to continue the trend, then I think there's a strong chance that we end up back at this low here. So support. And if this is going to be another lower high, so we've got one over there, second over there, third over there, potentially fourth, I think there's a very good chance we just see price continue back to the low. So that's kind of the move I'm interested in for dollar CHF. This is definitely an obstacle in our way here. So if you're in a short for dollar CHF, this is definitely an area where maybe securing some partials might be a good idea, and then just leaving the rest to continue, or however you want to go by it, locking some gains. It's up to you. But this is an area which could send price up against you, so I would watch out for that. But if you do catch a nice break, then I think it's a matter of time before we hit that low. So yeah, dollar CHF I'm pretty bearish on. Someone said they had a position in USD CHF, I'm pretty sure. Can't find the message. There we are, just football. Okay, you sold from 0.891. So yeah, it's around here somewhere. So yeah, really nice entry. So yeah, hopefully that trade can continue in your direction. Where's your take profit? How far are you looking to push the trade? Is it back to the low, or let me know? Okay, Devon enters some shorts and UCHF as well, aiming for previous major swing low. So I assume that's this low here. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Like nice momentum. I really like this 4-hour closure here. Really confident candle there. especially after the consolidation we had at that level. Then price just kind of melts the downside. That's a really nice sign that, okay, momentum has shifted from the bulls and now it's right over to the bears. So we'll see if we can crack through that support level. If we can, I feel like you'll be in the money back to that low. Because if price does want to push bullish, this is where we probably would, push to the upside from. So it's up to the price what it wants to do at that area. But yeah, I do think we can break through. I think a big tell sign is also what happens with USD. I still think USD can see some downside. I'll touch on DXY in a moment, but I think CHF is just very strong at the moment too. I keep an eye on some CHF pairs. Yeah, CAD CHF melting, Euro CHF, that one took a big dive as well. Pound CHF. Yeah, so CHF is very, very strong. So that should help out the dollar CHF shorts. It's just up to what dollar wants to do, if it wants to speed things up or cause some problems. And we'll take a look at the DXY in a moment. I'll just go through EuroCAD first. So yeah, EuroCAD, don't have too much to say about this one. It was on my watch list, I think 2 weeks ago. I was looking to buy it to the high after we broke through this level here, but we just were so bullish and didn't pull back. Now we're taking out that high there. Again, look at the price action. What is this? I can tell it's like a slight uptrend, but that is horrendous price action. Every time we push up, down, yeah. Not really a big fan. Not really a big fan, I must admit. But what I'd be looking for is another move down, because now that we've taken out a big high like this, there's a good chance we probably will see price push down, as that has been the theme of the market. As we can see, every time we do take out a low, the market then, pushes up there as well, even here as well. So the market consistently has been doing that for quite a while in these conditions. So now that we've taken out another major high, I wouldn't be so keen at looking for longs. If anything, shorts might make some sense. But like I said, there is a slight, ever so slight uptrend on the cards here. I think the trend line will help show that a little bit more, minus this point here as being a big fake out. So there is a slight uptrend there for EuroCAD. So what I'd be looking for personally would be another move down, and then trying to find that next high low for a buy back up. Maybe a retest of some structure there would look good. And then maybe eventually we push back to the high. But yeah, conditions aren't particularly great for EuroCAD, I must admit. So if you're looking for buys, I would be looking at down here, which is a fair bit away. It might take a week to get there. So yeah, there are other markets we'll be looking at in the meantime. But if you're really looking to trade EuroCAD now, this is bearish territory for me. But it's not like you've come into a big level for me to short. It's not like we're in a really good location. Maybe there's a trend line connecting the highs here. So maybe that's your confluence, but I need a bit more than that for me to jump into a position. So yeah, EuroCAD looking at a move down and then another move higher. And this would be a nice buy at a later date. Okay, plan to trails. Yeah, so yeah, that looks good to me. Dollar CHF looks good to me. We'll see what dollar has in store, but that sell looks good. I was looking to trade it myself, but to be honest, I'm not too bothered because I'm trading pound USD right now, which is looking for the same thing, dollar weakness really. So it's either they both will fail or both will work. So yeah. Okay, so I'll take a look at the DXY. So DXY, as I've said, I'm looking for some weakness. It's not quite at my area just yet, even though Euro USD is. So DXY had a couple areas where I said I do think we can sell off from, either that trend line there or the retest of this low. Either which way, I'm looking for another move down. Now, DXY is not quite there, so I do run the risk of getting to pound USD a little bit too early because price may still want to make that move up, which of course would fail my trade. But we'll see. I mean, again, I always try and make sure I take my trades based on the chart I'm trading. So if I'm looking to take a trade in pound USD has to look good. Of course, I will keep an eye on correlations because I do want correlation to be in my favor rather than against me. And technically the correlation is in my favor. It's just we might see another move up higher. So that's kind of the only awkward bit about the trade. But in terms of the technicals and pound USD, it ticks the boxes there. So I'm happy to take the trade. Worst case scenario, walk away with a loss. I've managed my risk, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, DXY, I do fancy another move down. But yeah, now that we have broken through that, we might see that move higher. So I am prepared for that. It might just mean a deeper entry on pounds. And of course, if the risk reward looks good, hopefully make back the loss and then some more. But we'll see how that develops. But yeah, from a DXY perspective, I do fancy another move lower. I'm not too sure if we'll just suddenly fall right now, although that would be very nice. We might push up one more time, then take a dive. But at least from a daily and weekly standpoint, I do think the bigger move down, the bigger move for DXY is down. So that is what I'm looking for. So yeah. Okay, there's still a bunch of more pairs to look through. Aussie dollar, I said I'll take a look at, didn't I? So yeah, we'll take a look at Aussie dollar. We'll go through Euro pound. We'll take a look at New Zealand CHF as well. Hope I said morning to you, Devon. If not, good morning with my croaky voice. Hasni will take a look at Aussie yen as well. Hey, Tony Gold, back up. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. No problem, just for all happy to help. Is there any major news yet? Yes, we do have some news today, which would be which you probably want to keep an eye on. There's nothing crazy. Like for me, the big three: CPI, NFP, and Fed interest rate. Those are the three which I really want to make sure I'm not just jumping to trade just before any other major news. I kind of will bite the bullet. So like today, we've got a bunch of PMI we had a bunch of PMI for pound and euro. But in the afternoon, we've got Bank of Canada interest rate decision, which, yeah, that could definitely make a big move. So from a Canadian standpoint, I'll definitely watch out from that if you're looking to trade any CAD pairs. That is expected to fall. Rates are expected to fall. Previous 4.75 now is expected to be 4.5. So potentially could be seeing some weakness for CADs this afternoon, but we'll see. And then we do have PMI for dollar at 3. The Bank of Canada is at 245. So yeah, we do have some major news, I suppose. But again, I'm not really looking at trading any CAD pairs, am I? No, I'm not trading any CAD pairs. And I am trading a dollar pair, but PMI doesn't really scare me too much. So we'll see what happens from that perspective. Okay, if USD pushes through the level, you take partials and delete my take profit. Okay. So yeah, I mean, best case scenario, the news goes for you and absolutely melts and maybe even breaks the floor. This support level, and that's kind of the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, price reverses and it goes and maybe hits your break even. I would assume you probably chose your stop loss to break even at that point. So worst case scenario, price will go and hit your break even, but at least you've got some partials to show for the position, so it's not completely lost. But yeah, that's up to you. Again, all we can do as traders is manage the trade accordingly. What actually happens, what actually the market does, is out of our control. So whatever the market does this afternoon, based on the news, you kind of just chalk it to the game. If it's for you, great. If it's against you, move on to the next trade. We're not here to be successful within one trade. So yeah, as long as you're happy with that, then see it through. But yeah, we do have the possibility to really tank and really get the ball wrong, especially if that floor breaks as well. But yeah, I'm pretty bearish on USD, so I do expect it to happen, but the news can be odd sometimes. Anyway, so let me go through Aussie dollar first. So Aussie dollar, I said I'm expecting to see some upside this week. The level I was looking to buy from didn't hold. This was early Monday, so I managed to stay out of the market because of that. But things can change. Things can change very, very quickly. So Yeah, Aussie dollar was at the top of my watch list this week with pound USD. Aussie dollar's done a crazy move down, so that's completely blown out of proportion. Pound USD set up, which is why I'm in that trade. But yeah, yesterday I was talking about this daily level here as possibly a nice place where Aussie dollar can come into, find support, and possibly rally to the upside. Yep, that level didn't hold, and we cracked straight through as well. Didn't see much sign of reversal though, I must admit. So if you're looking at your candlesticks, that would be a tell sign that okay, we weren't really going to hold it anyway. But yeah, price has been very bearish. Now I do expect Aussie dollar to see some upside purely out of the need to retrace, because the market's had such a strong move down, and is very overstretched and is coming into some strong support as well. So I do think we will see some upside purely for retracement, but how things have shaped up, I do think the bigger move now will probably be to the downside. Similar to like Euro Yen, for example. Euro Yen's fallen off to the downside pretty hard. I think we will see some upside purely as a relief, as a retracement, as a pullback. But I do think the bigger move is still to expect more downside. Same thing for Aussie dollar as well. So if you're looking at buys for Aussie dollar, it makes sense at this low here. Strong support, you rejected a few times. This is where that big move happened from. So it makes a lot of sense looking to buy here. Would I buy? No, not really, because I'm kind of going against momentum at this point. So at least with my like pound USD position, I'm kind of going with momentum because you had this massive leg here. So I'm looking to kind of fade that retracement for the bigger push. So pound USD looks better for me from that perspective, whereas Aussie dollar kind of raised all that momentum there. So it's more of a bounce I'm looking for, but to me, I think the big move is probably still down. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Aussie dollar. But I think that's purely because Aussie just been so weak. Hence why pound Aussie and pound NZD, they've flown. I think, yeah, pound's been strong as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Aussie dollar. I will go through New Zealand CHF, Aussie yen as well, Euro pound. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Pragasar? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Hey, welcome back, William. Hope you're doing good. Yes, I've got a new position on pound USD, which I entered this morning. Well, not this morning, about 52 minutes ago on the 10 o'clock close. I entered on this hourly candle here. Looking okay so far, but it's only the first candle. We'll see how things go. Stop loss is underneath that low there, giving it a little bit of wiggle room. And if pound USD wants to play ball, hopefully we can swing back to the high. I will be trading stops, so I don't really have a definite target for the trade. So it just depends how well the trade performs. If things go really well, could be trading it all the way back to the high. If things don't go too well, then I might just get trailed out somewhere. But yeah, that's all part of the plan. But yeah, we've come back into a really nice area on the daily chart. I was going through this yesterday. It was at the top of my watch list. Didn't find any good entries yesterday, so I waited and waited. Then I really like the candle how it closed today. So taking a trade based off that, and we'll see how this goes. Stop loss underneath that low. Yeah, but that's the only position I'm in currently. But yeah, I think pound is just quite strong at the moment. Dollar's not really weak, but I think it's weakening. So if USD can see some downside, hopefully the news can give us that this afternoon. Hopefully we can see some really nice upside. But yeah, currently in some pound USD longs. Anyway, where is New Zealand CHF? So yeah, New Zealand CHF is another pair I was talking about coming into the week as well. Another pair on my watch list as well. Unfortunately, this has just been too bearish. It's just been too bearish. It hasn't really given me much of a pullback. I was talking about a retest of the low here. And I think we opened up the week around here-ish. Nope. Yeah, around here-ish. We opened up the week around here. So the plan was hopefully we can see a pullback, retest some structure, look for that next swing high, one over there, second over there, third over there, hopefully a fourth, and then see a continuation to the downside. So that was the plan for New Zealand CHF. However, yeah, the price just kept falling. Same thing with NZUSD as well, which I'll get into in detail as well. That's just kept falling. I was looking for the retest of this low, but yeah, not too sure we'll see a pullback that big anymore. So yeah, I'll go into that in a bit of detail soon. But yeah, New Zealand CHF, same thing as well. It's like, are we going to see a pullback to retest that? We could do, but I don't think we will. So I'm going to have to kind of be a bit flexible with this one if I'm going to look to catch that next lower high. But the plan is to see if we can push back to the low, because I'm looking at the weekly chart, and it looks to me that the week has printed in that next swing low there. So we had one all the way back over there, second, third, fourth, and potentially fifth. So if that is going to be the next lower high, there's a good chance we push to the low and possibly create new lows as well. So my job is to be looking for some pullbacks along the way down and try and see if I can ride that move and take advantage of it as much as possible on the way down. So drop into the 4 hour. I just want to see if I can find some pullback somewhere, before we get to that low. So New Zealand CHF I already like. Feel like this is probably going to be the next best area for me. It's a brief consolidation, some nice momentum. Not the best area in the world. This is still probably would be my preferred option. It's just I don't think we'll see a pullback that big anymore. That's my only conundrum there with New Zealand CHF. But I like the shorts. There's a lot of momentum in the higher time frames. Higher time frames look good. They agree with the bias. A lot of momentum in the markets right now. Just see if you can find a good retracement, another low high, and take a short. No, I haven't seen. I thought you used the CAD position hit take profit, Pragasar. I thought you already hit take profit in that position. Didn't realize you were still in the trade because we were very, very bullish yesterday. USD CAD. Yeah, we had a big move there, so I just assumed that hit you take profit there. But yeah, it was a lovely move to the upside. A really nice trade. We do have some CAD news this afternoon though, so that could be a little bit awkward. I know if price is really close to your take profit, I forget what your take profit is again, but if it's very, very close to your take profit, especially with Bank of Canada coming in the afternoon, if it hasn't hit the take profit by then, I think it might be smart just to close the trade. Of course, you might just see price spike to take profit from the news. But worst case scenario is that it could melt against your position, especially because we had such a lovely move up. There is that possibility that price could push back down, and that would be, that would be horrendous to happen, especially when it's right next to your take profit. Okay, 1.38279, 38279, 279. Okay, so around here somewhere. Okay, still got a bit of a way. What's that, like 40 pips maybe? Yeah, a little less than 40 pips. I mean, yeah, it's an awkward one because the news could see that follow through to the upside and hit you take profit, happy days, or it could do the exact opposite. So yeah, it's your decision. I don't want to force you to do anything. Okay, I'll close 90. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, especially when you've already caught a decent amount of pips there higher. You don't kind of want to risk all of that pips just to try and catch another 30. So yeah, closing majority for the news makes a lot of sense, and then hopefully the news can get the rest to take profit. But yeah, USD has been pretty bullish. USD has been pushing up. I'm still looking for dollar weakness, however, hasn't really happened yet. So yeah, we'll see how that gets on. I said I was going to take a look at Euro Pound and Aussie Yen, didn't I? Yes, I did. So Euro Pound, again, have not been focused at this pair at all. It's looking pretty bearish though. It's been listening to my analysis pretty well. My weekly analysis, I was talking about the retest of this low here. I said possibly some shorts on the retest of that area. We tested it quite nicely. Now things are looking bearish again. So yeah, I'll be expecting Euro Pound to end up back at this low. So if you're looking for entries, again, I feel like the ship has sailed. If you're looking for entries, the best place would be at the high there. Of course, hindsight does help, but yeah, I did mention this is a nice level to short from. Now that we're kind of pushed away, sure, you can kind of drop to the lower time frames and try and find some entries here. But it's just a bit more awkward. Your stop loss is not as safe as it could be if it was up here or somewhere. Um, but yeah, I would expect us to end back at that low. So if you're in the trade, nice going. You know, it looks good. It looks like we probably will get to that low anyway. If you're not in the trade, if it was me, I would kind of just move on to another pair because it looks like it's kind of that one's kind of gone. If we do decide to come up again for some reason, so the market decides it wants to, retest that area, that'd be fantastic. Find some better entries that way. Risk to rewards looking a lot more promising. And then, yeah, probably can find some trades like that, but that's a big if as well. But yeah, that's something that would interest me for Euro Pound. But yeah, I do think more downside is likely and probably going to push through the low. Because again, I'm looking at the higher time frames as well. Yeah, we are bearish in the higher time frames too. So there's a lot of momentum there on the higher time frames helping us push lower. So I do think we'll just keep at it really. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro Pound. Not my favorite pair, but it's looking okay. Okay, so I'll take a look at Aussie yen. Yeah, but you don't want to just close the trade just because you're scared of potential reversal. Because I would imagine Pragasar would have had a plan before taking that position, and I would imagine he's seeing out the trade to that plan. It's not going to be perfect. Sometimes trades will reverse against you, and it won't hit your take profit or whatever, and you'll miss out. Trades like that are supposed to happen. If you're going to have take profits, it's going to happen. And some trades will look like it's about to reverse, but it doesn't, and it just flies and hits your take profit, and then you're like, okay, why did I close out early? But I definitely do understand because it does look like it's coming up to a high where we could see some downside. But I think the biggest worry for USD CAD is just the Bank of Canada interest rate coming out this afternoon, because that could cause a lot of movement very, very quickly. But I do understand your point. Rick, Pound CHF will take a look as well. Okay, you took a sell. We'll cover that. Let me just go through. Pound, not pound, Aussie yen. So Aussie yen. We've had a really big move down. Yeah, Aussie yen's not looking great at all for the buyers anyway. In terms of the sellers, it's looking fantastic. But yeah, in terms of the buyers, not looking too good. And I say that because we've just taken out this low like it was nothing. This low here. This is the previous 4-hour low, which gave us the high up here. And the fact is the market has just gone and obliterated that very, very easily. So yeah, the bigger move for me for Aussie yen probably will still be to the downside. And the thing is, we've done it with so much momentum as well. It's not like we've had a really corrective pullback like this. Price has just been falling, minor retracement falling. So that's showing a lot of conviction in these bearish moves here. So yeah, for me, I would expect to see some retracement because we've just taken out a big low. The market's a bit stretched, so naturally retracement would be likely at some point. But the bigger move for me probably still will be to the low. It would be nice if we can come and retest this area. I don't think we will. There's some minor areas around here we could retest, but effectively I'm looking for a pullback and some more downside. Same with Euro Yen as well, looking at some pullback and some more downside. And again, if I do expand to like the weekly chart, that trend is still very much bullish, and Aussie Yen just might want to be coming back to retest the high here. So that could definitely be a possibility. We could see price, continue bearish to this area, and then maybe we push back bullish again. So in the bigger picture, the overall trend isn't over. The bullish trend is still very much at large. This trend has been going on for the past 4 years. So, the past 2-3 weeks, we've seen some downside. Doesn't really eradicate the past 4 years and change that trend instantly. But what it does mean is that we're probably going to see more downside for the next maybe couple of weeks, 2 days, based on how everything is looking. And for Aussie yen, we could be making a move back to retest this level here on the weekly chart around 98. So yeah, Aussie yen, I think more downside is likely. I think for the next few days, 2-3 weeks, we're probably looking at some sells now, just looking for good pullbacks, and looking to short that. I'm not saying we're reversing, but at least in the 4-hour, I would expect more downside. And I kind of hold that bias for most of the yen pairs. CAD yen as well, broke through that like it was nothing. I'm looking for pullbacks here and another move down. Pound yen is coming to a low here as well, but I would expect to see some pullbacks and some shorts as well. New Zealand yen, that one's falling off a cliff. This one's probably fallen the hardest. Euro yen downside as well. Aussie yen downside. Dollar yen downside. Swiss yen, I would like some downside from here as well on a retest. But again, I'm not saying the trend's reversed either. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. I feel like we've seen a lot of bearish momentum. They're very stretched, coming to some areas where they're likely to pull back from. I'm not really one to trade that pullback. But after we've had the pullback, the shorts, now that short I'll look to trade. So if the yen pairs can have some nice pullbacks, I will take some shorts. 100% because the conditions look good. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Aussie yen. I'll touch on pound CHF Rick and Aussie CHF as well. So yeah, last time I looked, pound CHF looked pretty weak. CHF looks like it's quite strong, the currency. It looks like it's quite strong. If you guys are enjoying the content, by the way, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe as well. It does really help out. Make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out any streams uploads in the future. I do appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. It does really help out. And subscribe as well. But yeah, in terms of pound CHF, it's looking pretty bearish. I was touching upon this one yesterday. I said I'm looking at a head and shoulder pattern here on the retest of this level. I said we could see price spike into the upper end of the range, and it did that. And to be honest, I wasn't really, even if it did give me the signal, I probably wouldn't look take the trade because I'm looking to long pound USD. So I don't want to be looking to short pound CHF because that pound USD is kind of where my focus lies. But the signal did come. It just came again outside of my trading hours. I touched upon that earlier. Quite a few setups the past couple of weeks have happened outside of my trading hours, which have been a bit annoying. Again, I'm not looking to trade my hours. I'm not looking to trade my hours because of that, because I know my best trades still occur in those hours. But yeah, quite a few have happened outside, so I'll see how that gets going. Maybe it's because it's summer, I'm not too sure. Yeah, really nice rejection of the high, really nice signal there, and we had a really nice sell-off. This was basically the setup I was touching upon yesterday. But I do think we can go further because, again, I'm looking at this as a head and shoulder pattern. So there's your left, there's your head, and there's your right. So I do think we'll probably snap through the neck here. Again, awful drawing. Let me just use the line tool. I do think we'll snap through that neckline, which looks like we're trying to do now. And then I think we will see price take a dive. I'm not too sure if we're going to melt all the way down. We have the capabilities to do so, but I think in terms of just being smart, coming back to this area makes a lot of sense. This is where we kind of struggled a little bit in the daily chart with some bearish candles. I think a retest of that looks likely. So yeah, if you're looking to trade pound CHF, I would say keep an eye on some downside because I'm expecting more of it. I feel like if you're looking for an entry, a nice one would be if you can break the low here, which would be the neckline. A nice break of that and a retest could provide some nice entries. Effectively looking for that next lower high. So there's your low, lower high, lower low somewhere, lower high, so on and so forth. So that's kind of where I'm at with pound CHF. Okay, you said you're short from 1.14693, 14693. Okay, so it's around here somewhere. So not too sure about that because it's kind of shorting into support a little bit, but I suppose you're expecting that to break anyway. And it looks like it is breaking. So hopefully we can see that continue for you. But yeah, I would expect more downside. Let me know your targets for that pound CHF short, how far you're looking to take it. But yeah, to me, I would expect more downside there for pound CHF. And as I mentioned, that looks like a nice little level there too. Aussie CHF will take a look as well. CHF JPY. What's up, More? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good, my man. Hope all is well with you. What are you having for lunch? So yeah, Aussie CHF I'll take a look at. CHF JPY I'll take a look at as well. Emmy, what is up? Hope you're good. Yes, dollar yen, I will take a look. Just join the live, no problemo, no problemo. Yeah, I'll add dollar yen to the list. What's up, Ben? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No problem, Rick. Happy to help. Okay, 1.14181. 1.14181. Okay, that's around here somewhere. So yeah, I think that's a really reasonable target as well. I think more or less around there. So yeah, pretty reasonable. I'm looking for a little bit lower, but yeah, we're on the same page there. So yeah, hopefully pound CHF can keep up that momentum. But yeah, looking across the board, CHF pairs in general, all I'm seeing is price melting. So CHF is very, very strong. So hopefully that can continue for your sake. Yeah. And I mean, at the moment, it looks like it probably will. But anyway, Aussie CHF, another one that's falling pretty hard, as we can all see there. Really big candle here today. Again, this candle's still live. So although it looks like we're breaking through the low here, it's not quite confirmed yet because we could still wick. We can still leave a big wick there before that candle does close for the day. So keep that in mind. But what I can say is that we are looking extremely bearish on the higher time frames. And similar to New Zealand CHF, it looks like this one's printed in a major high there and it's coming back down. It looks like Aussie CHF is trying to do the same with this trend here too. So yeah, with Aussie CHF, I think more downside is likely in terms of some nice trades. I would say if we can pull back, maybe retest this area here, that could be a nice place for an entry to take some shorts. I wouldn't really be looking for buys. I mean, I know it's at a nice area here, but I think the buys will be short term. But firstly, you want to see some nice rejection there. At the moment, we're looking extremely bearish. So if you do see some nice rejection, yes, it's not a bad place for a buy. We did have a really big move from there, so buys do make sense there, but need to see some rejection first. But what I would be looking for would be some pullbacks and some sells because that's where more room is. High time frames still have that narrative. There's a lot of bearish momentum in the market at the moment. I would be looking at some pullbacks of that, trying to plot a lower high somewhere and take some shorts. Something like this would be very, very nice. Retesting that low. So yeah, with Aussie CHF, more downside. Again, very bearish on the CHF pairs in general. Just bearish in general. So yeah, pullbacks will look good. Same thing, New Zealand CHF. Pullbacks will look good. Pound CHF, same thing there as well. Okay, where was I? Okay, so yeah, CHF JPY will take a look and then we'll go through dollar yen. Yes, I'm holding a long position on pound USD. Took the trade this morning. Seems to be moving okay. This is the position I took on this candle close here this morning at 10 a.m. just before I entered the stream. But yeah, I'm looking for a swing to the upside. Pound USD was one of the pairs on my watch list this week, and we have come back to retest the high. So yeah, I've been looking for entry since yesterday. I was debating an entry over here, but I didn't really like the close. Not a lot of conviction. The only thing that was really going for it was the big wick, but I didn't really like it. So I stayed at the market, and then price sold off a little bit heavier, and then we had some really nice rejection here, and I liked how things closed. So I've hopped into the trade off the back of that candle there. I'm looking to see if I can swing it back to the high. Again, I'll be trading stops, so it's not concrete. If price can start taking out some areas here on the left, I'll start looking to trail stops and lock in some gains, and then I'll just see how far I can take price. But in terms of location, in terms of the entry, this is what's got me into the trade. So we'll see what we can do after that. But yeah, it's in the hands of the market now. But yeah, I'm long pound USD. Okay. Okay, so yeah, dollar yen, CHF JPY we'll take a look at. A bunch of pairs there as well. We'll go through. Yes, it's at a nice place for a buy with Aussie CHF Katana. As I mentioned, I do think it's a nice place for a buy. I just don't think it will go too far. Because again, high time frames, the market trend is still very much down. So I do think that's where the market will eventually end up at. So in terms of a swing, it's a nice place for a swing because it's a big low, it's a strong swing low. This is where the market had a really big move from. So again, we could probably see another move up. But I do think eventually we're going to fall that lower high and move down. So shorts, nice place for a buy. I don't know how big the retracement will be. It might just be a small one. It might be pretty big. Might end up falling another low high. In this regard, so that is a possibility. But I do expect the bigger move to be down, and I do expect us to eventually break that floor. So I'll wait for the shorts to set up, and when it does, fantastic. I'll take them. But yeah, looking extremely bearish right now. Just need to be patient for that. But yeah, it's a nice place for a buy, and if you see some nice rejection there, go for it. But I'd rather be looking to sell the market. In terms of CHF JPY, then I'll take a look at dollar yen. So yeah, CHF JPY, you mentioned a pattern, a piercing line. I'm not too sure what that is. Unless you're talking about the wick there. The wick down the daily chart. But yeah, I've never heard of a piercing line before. But yeah, in terms of technicals for CHF JPY, I had a really big drop, consolidation, another drop again. So we'll be looking at a correction of that and then some more downside. That's kind of how I would be looking at CHF JPY, at least from a 4-hour perspective. Because again, we're coming from all-time highs with Swiss yen. We've never been at these highs before. So I do think price is just going for a natural pullback. There's some areas down here which we could come back and retest as well. So keep an eye on 171.89. But for now, we have come back into some support here. So I do think we'll react with that and see some upside. I wouldn't really be looking for buys just yet. I'll be more keen on the sells here and see if we can take some shorts on the retest of that low and maybe trade it back where we came from. So that's kind of where I'm at with CHF JPY. Nice little pullback there, retest of that structure, and hopefully you can see some more downside. Okay, so move on to dollar yen next, and then we'll take a look at, well, there's a few pairs there, Aussie, New Zealand dollar, UCHF, pound yen. Are you eating your eggs now, Sculpey? I had my eggs just before the stream. Same as always, avocado, salad, eggs, 4 pieces of bread, damn, 4. So I'm eating them all. Oh, okay. What do you have for breakfast then, more? If you're having avocado, salad, eggs, full piece of bread for lunch, what's your breakfast saying? Okay, no problem, Rick. And yeah, that reminds me. Go check out the Discord channel. Again, completely free. The link I will drop right now. So yeah, go check out the Discord. If you want to join, yeah, feel free to discuss trade ideas, share trade ideas, um, and of course chat with other traders as well. So feel free to check out the Discord. Let me just go and pin that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, go check it out. Completely free to join. No problem, Rick. Happy to help. No problem. Nikeba, happy to help as well. Okay, Game City, will add that to the list. There's a bunch of pairs we're looking through, so we'll eventually get to it. I mean, I did go through them at the start, so if you want to scroll back, you can do that too. But I'll end up taking another look at them as well. Yes, Silver. Called you Silver. Yes, Samuel will take a look at Silver as well. Yeah, that's a good tip as well, Sculpey. Make the neutral. I did that back in the day. I kind of like it in terms of the colors, green and red. It looks a little bit prettier on the eye. If that's the correct word. So I like the colors, but yeah, in terms of emotion, seeing a big red candle or a big green candle can definitely be very emotional. So yeah, making them neutral colors. I think I had mine as gray. Had a white background with gray candlesticks. Um, so yeah, making them neutral can help, or just other colors opposed to green and red, because green and red are very stimulant. In a traffic lights, you have green as go, red as stop. So you've already got an emotional tie to them. Something like green and white, or like a navy, or something else. Yeah, other than green and red would help. Anyway, so what pair that says dollar yen? So yeah, dollar yen. It's a similar situation as with Swiss yen as well. I do think we can see some more downside, but I do think a pullback is likely because the yen pairs have fallen quite a lot. So I do think naturally will retrace as all markets do, particularly FX. Anyway, we'll probably have a retracement, but again, I do think we'll probably have another follow through. So as we can see, we are printing some lower highs here on the 4 hour. 1, 2, 3. Would be looking at another one. We test some structure maybe, and then looking for the next one, looking for the next drop to the downside. And then maybe after that we can start looking at some reversals. But for now, we're still seeing conviction to the downside. So yeah, we're at a nice place where buys do look good, but I don't think we'll suddenly just fly to the moon from here. It's definitely a nice low. This is the low that gave us a really massive run to the upside. So it's a nice place for a buy. And I think looking at the lower time frames, we're seeing some rejection there as well. So the buys look okay, but I think the sells got a bit more conviction. And since that's where we're seeing a lot of momentum at the moment, probably will see a very corrective move up higher, most likely, and then some nice momentum back down. So for the time being, sales do look good on the lower time frames. But yeah, a pullback is necessary for that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with dollar yen. In terms of Aussie, New Zealand dollar, USD CHF, pound yen, we'll take a look. So Aussie, New Zealand dollar, haven't really been looking at this pair much. How do we close for the week? So I remember I was talking about this one a lot last week. So yeah, we end up closing bullish, breaking the high. So yeah, if we do get back underneath, because although we did close above, it's not the most convincing close in the world. So I wouldn't be too surprised if the next week candle came right back down. So if we were to do something like that, then again, I do think we will have a really big sell-off, because this might just be a big kind of correction. before a move down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see something like that, but we do need to come right back underneath that level. If it's a breakout and we do see the market really pull through, then we could be looking at that as our next target. So I'm not quite decided yet. And at the moment, this is just basically consolidation. So what I'll be waiting for Aussie New Zealand dollar is for price to show some commitment, which would be a big break to the downside. And that will give us that confirmation that, okay, price is probably going to sell off and we're probably going to get that big continuation. Or break higher with a lot of momentum. And then, we've got a really nice place for a retest. And then we can look to ride that momentum higher. So something like that would make sense. But in here, it's 50-50. We could be forming a high to come back down. We could be getting ready for a breakout. I'm not decided yet. Nothing's very, very clear. But if we do see some conviction higher, then okay, we probably are trending up higher now and probably going to see more upside. So then pullbacks make sense. And if we are going to sell off pretty hard, break to the downside, see something like this up, but down, then we probably are just printing another major high. And if I go back to the weekly chart, we could be looking at just a big correction here. And the market's kind of getting ready for another big drop to the low now that we're at the upper end of it. So that could be the situation as well. It's something similar to like what Bitcoin's doing, which is, we had the descending channel there. Price came to the low, big move up. We could be seeing something similar to Aussie New Zealand dollar, but the opposite, big move down. So I'd wait for that consolidation to commit, and then I will be of a bit more help as to where we could be going next. But I wouldn't really be looking for much information or opportunities whilst we're in that range, because 50-50. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so I'll go through dollar CHF, pound yen quickly, then we'll touch on silver, gold, and NAS. We'll go through some indices as well. But I've got a bunch of pairs to go through. So dollar CHF. Okay, wow. Dollar CHF is breaking through. We just talked about dollar CHF probably like 30 minutes ago, or maybe a little bit longer, but we were trading around here and I said, watch out for this level because we might bounce from here. But nope, price has just broken through that like it's nothing there. With UCHF, really nice short from that high on that retest, and it looks like price is just coming back to that low. This is where we had that kind of double bottom. And if price is just literally just continuing this bearish trend here, so one high, second high, third, fourth, then there's a good chance that dollar CHF is just going to end up back at this low. Whether we break through it or not, that's a different question. We'll judge that later. Later today, we do have some USD news in the afternoon, so I don't think we'll be there by then, but it might speed things up. But anyway, dollar CHF is looking pretty bearish. So in terms of shorts, I think the ship has sailed. If you didn't get an entry up here, it's a little bit difficult to look for entries now. I think maybe if we do see price really fall over, then maybe there could be a nice little retest of this low for a place for a short, kind of reaching a little bit. Again, best place would have been up there. If you're not in the trade there, it might be best to look elsewhere for opportunities or wait for price to set up again. But for now, I would be expecting dollar CHF to get to that low. So maybe a retest of that area there could be a nice opportunity. But for now, I think the ship has sailed with USD CHF. In terms of pound yen, where are we for pound yen? So pound yen again sold off pretty hard as well. This one hasn't really taken out any major lows yet. So that structure is still intact. However, we do have some really hard bearish momentum here. Some really aggressive sells. So I do think we'll probably see another pullback for pound yen. And again, another push to the downside there as well. So for pound yen, As I said, with the other yen pairs, I do think we'll see a pullback because again, the market's quite stretched. We're coming into some nice areas of support. Back over here, again, this is kind of the low, which gave us, a really strong rally to the high. So this is definitely a nice level of support. However, I only expect to see retracement up higher. I don't think we'll suddenly just fly bullish from here. I think there's probably a good chance we'll pull back and then see some downside. In terms of places to short, again, this would be my preferred area. We might not see a pullback that big, maybe to retest this area here, just a minor kind of pause in the market with a big follow through. Could see the market retest that and then some downside. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for pound yen, some pullbacks and then some more downside later on. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah. Okay, where was what? I have no idea. There's a lot of messages. Cheers. Appreciate that, Laura. Hopefully we can see some more upside on pound because it's only just getting started. Only just entered about an hour and a half ago. So still need some more upside. But we'll take a look at silver, yes. Silver, gold, and some indices as well. Yeah, of course. It's not going to be just smooth sailing trading. Trading, you're gonna make some nice gains. You're gonna give back some of those gains. You're gonna make some nice gains. You're gonna give back some of the gains. That's always the never-ending process of trading, of successful trading as well. Not just trading, general successful trading. You're going to be giving back profits. You're going to be giving back profits, and yeah, it's the never-ending cycle, and it's all part of the game. And one of the key things that separates break-even traders or losing traders is just that, because every trader will make successful trades. It's a law of probabilities. It's not like you need to have a certain skill set to hit a winning trade. I could close my eyes, pick a random currency pair, click buy, come back, close the trade in a couple of hours' time, and walk away with a profit potentially. So it is probabilities. It is probabilities at play. So the key skill is just not giving back so much during your times of drawdown. So then when you do have your wins, it takes you back to new highs and then goes through drawdown, new highs, so on and so forth. And you just have to ride that momentum. But yeah, it's never going to be just win, 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 win. Even the best traders of all time will have losses, losing streaks as well. So it's all part of the game. Okay, no problem. It's flying fast. You always say that when you're on the stream. Okay, let me go through silver, gold, and US 100 before I forget. So yeah, with silver and gold, still looking for buys for both of them. But not quite convincing the buyers just yet. So I'm kind of waiting for them to develop a little bit further before some buys. So in terms of gold, I'm looking for one more move down before I look for any buys, because we've had a pretty aggressive move to the downside last week. And to me, this looks like a big impulse. This to me looks like a correction. So I do think price is likely going to push to the downside. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at for gold. So impulse, correction, impulse. And then hopefully on that next move down, we can be looking at some buys later on. Hopefully we can be looking at some buys later on. But at the moment in time for gold, I want to see a move down. I want to see price correct itself. We got some news this afternoon. Maybe that could help. But even the double bottom would be nice as well. It doesn't have to be new lows. But we are retesting a nice high over here. So what would be nice is a move down and then maybe some buys there, or come a little bit further and maybe some buys there as well. But that is my analysis for gold. And then I'm looking for a push back to that swing high. So the bias is still the same, bullish, looking at higher lows, and yeah, looking for a swing back to the high. In terms of silver as well, really strong support there. I'm looking for another push down first, maybe another spike through the low. That would be very nice. Now I'm looking to take some buys off the back of that too. Because again, looking at the high time frames, we still do have some really nice structure at play. So I do think we're just getting ready to get that continuation as well. So yeah, silver, gold to me, both very bullish, both expecting more upside, both expecting them to push back to their swing high, but just trying to get the timing right. Because I've got my idea, which is looking for buys, looking for a push to swing high. Now I need to wait for a good time, good entry to actually buy that. Don't want to rush into anything just yet, because things are not looking particularly great right now. That move up has been nice, but it has been pretty corrective. So I do think we'll probably at some point see some downside. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for silver and gold. Ben, yeah, so we'll be looking to launch with MT4. But yeah, we'll be looking to onboard other platforms as things progress. But in terms of launching, MT4. Okay, nice, more. Yeah. I replied to you this morning. At least I think it's the message you're talking about. But yeah, no problem, my man. Have a good one. Hope you have a great day, and hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. But yeah, with gold and silver, looking for longs, but looking for another move down. In terms of NAS, where is NAS? There we are. So in terms of NAS, I'm looking for some buys. I keep saying I'm looking for buys. I'm not looking to trade in the C's. Well, I'm starting with US 30, but yeah, I don't trade NAS at the moment. But yeah, I would be looking for buys down here if I was looking to trade it down at these areas here. So what's that? 1900 and then 18900 there. That's kind of where I'm looking to take some well, I keep saying I'm looking to take entries. If I was looking to trade it, that's where I would be looking to buy from, because essentially, again, nothing's changed from a higher time frame perspective. Everything's still very, very bullish for NAS. So I'm just looking for this retracement to find some key areas where we could see some buyers step back into the market. And for me, it would be one of these two areas here where I expect that to happen. I have been talking about some sells earlier on this week. It didn't quite happen. These are the two levels I was talked about for some sells. We kind of got 3/4 of the way up before we got to that level, before we did see some downside. We may still push up again. So if we were to push up for some reason, then I think the sales setup is still valid. We still haven't retested either of those levels. So I think shorts still look good there. But if we just fall to the downside and see price melt, then yeah, buy setups down here look good. So depends what your bias is. If you're looking for some sells, I'd wait for price to push up again close to 20K. If you're looking for some buys, then 1900, 19K is where it's at for me. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at this as a head and shoulder pattern to a degree. So yeah, I do think we can see some downside there. No problem. Happy to help. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with NAS. Okay, I will go through. Yeah, I think I had a really look at Aussie CHF tonight. If I've missed out a pair, let me know. I think I have taken a look at them all, but if not, let me know. Look at not really. I'm not really looking to look at pound CHF short spend because I'm currently long on pound USD. So me taking a look at a short for pound CHF doesn't really make too much sense because I'll be shorting pound and buying pound. So it kind of contradicts myself. So no, I'll just see how pound USD gets on. I would be bearish on pound CHF though, so I would be expecting price to continue down for pound CHF. I think CHF pairs across the board look like they can see more downside, and pound CHF looks like it's printing in a nice head and shoulder pattern here, left head and right shoulder. So that's kind of how I'm looking at pound CHF, and I do think we can see some more downside from that. And as I mentioned earlier, a nice little break and retest there could be a nice trade opportunity back to this area. But yeah, I won't be focused on that. It's not my watch list, so I'm not going to be looking to take any shorts on pound CHF. Yes, it does, Philip. But there are rules around it because some people can definitely definitely use EAs to try and uh, cheat and go around things as well. So there are rules and restrictions behind EAs, but for like managing trades in terms of like stop loss orders and calculating a lot size and stuff like that, that is allowed. But yeah, a lot of people have used EAs to try and cheat the system. But yeah, I do advise. I mean, there's various types of EAs, um, but yeah, EAs can be very handy, very handy. I don't really use them to be honest, so I wouldn't really be one to advise if I don't use it myself. But I know some people use EAs to manage their positions quite a lot. Particularly if you're trading with a lot of accounts, it can help with that as well. Or just like putting your stop loss in, calculating a lot size for you as well. I don't really know anyone who uses bots though to trade. Yeah, not that I know of. Of course there are, but not that I know personally. Um, but yeah, yeah. So pound CHF, as I just said, pullbacks look good on a retest of this low, and expecting a bit more downside. Um, yeah, true, Ben. Pound USD can go up, pound CHF goes down. Effectively, it just means that CHF is going to be very, very strong and USD is going to be pretty weak. But generally speaking, if pound's going to be bullish, then it will be good for my trades. And if pound's going to be bearish, it's going to be bad for my trade. But that'll be good for pound CHF shorts as well. So yeah, there is the possibility for them to be going different directions, but at the same time, I just don't really want to be looking to long pound and short pound as well. For that point of view. How long do I usually hold a trade? Depends how long it needs to be held for. I don't really set a limit for it, but I would say my winners take an average between 2 and 3 days to play out. Um, yeah, 2 and 3 days. Sometimes it can go for a week or 2 weeks. The longer trades, maybe there's a bit of consolidation there. Maybe price was just chopping around for a bit. So sometimes it can go for 2, 3 weeks. So I will let it give its room. But on average, I would say 2, 3 days, which is why I like to call myself an intra-week trader because most of my trades are open and close within the week or with a period of a week. German's down 5.5. Is that the DAX you're talking about? I haven't looked at the DAX for a while. Yeah, last time I spoke was around here looking for some buys that did not play out at all. Um, Price action is a little bit weird now, I must admit. Don't really know what it's doing over there. But yeah, you're right, it is down. I mean, I still would be bullish, expecting a push to the swing high, but I would have expected it to happen because we had all that momentum from a couple of weeks ago. So I'd be expecting prices to kind of continue. The fact that it came down and even took up this low here is not a great sign for the buyers. And the fact that we're struggling at the high there as well is not a great sign for the buyers as well. Maybe you are forming a high to push down, left shoulder, head, possible right shoulder reversal. That could be at play now. So yeah, I'm kind of torn with not pound, sorry, with the DAX. It's not looking particularly clear to me. I mean, there's still a lot of bullish momentum in the market, and it's still very bullish. So buys in general would be my preferred option, but I am not seeing any opportunity to buy it. If we come back to the low, yeah, sure, we might bounce, but it might be something like this. I'm not in love with the price action at all, I must admit. But yeah, we are down, but price action here is very rubbish. I have no idea what it's trying to do here. And yeah, when price action is not looking good, I will just wait for more clarity. You don't want to feel like an obligation to try and understand price and try and figure out what's going to do next. If price action is not clear to you, don't worry about it. Come back the next day or look at a different pair. You don't want to force something when it's not there. Because even when you do take that trade, you're going to be very anxious and very stressed as well. And you're going to be second guessing yourself. UK 100, I haven't had a look at the UK 100 in a while. Okay, so yeah, I've been favoring a big move higher. I said I've been looking for price to get to the lower end of that channel and retest the high of this price swing point, which we're not too far away from now. We have just been rebounding in this descending channel here. I just make it a little bit cleaner. So yeah, we have just been rebounding in this area. So what I would be looking for would be another move down to come and test that same support level down here. And of course, test the lower end of the descending channel. So we've got really nice confluence down here, and that could be the swing low that gives us a really nice move back to the high. Or what you could wait for, it would be a break, break of the consolidation. Then you're looking for your retest afterwards. So that would be a slightly safer entry because you've already seen the breakout. So pullback's making more sense now. But if you're looking for a really nice swing trade, this is the opportunity. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing with UK 100. It's kind of just stalling at support there. So what would be nice if we can break through that, take out some early traders, test this area here, along with the low end of the channel, and that could be a really nice buy. Of course, we'll see how we react there. I wouldn't say just jump straight in. But from what I'm seeing, it makes a lot of sense. Let me redraw that. There we go. So yeah, something like that would look good. But yeah, still very bullish and looking for a swing back to the high. It's still very much the plan. Still very much the plan. So yeah, I'll quickly go through my watch list because I haven't actually gone through my watch list yet. So yeah, I'll go through my watch list. So yeah, at the moment I'm trading pound USD. I'm buying it. We'll see how that goes. I'll start looking to manage the trade as we approach some of these areas here. We can take that out. That'll be nice. And then I'll probably trail to break even. Then we'll see what we can do. And I'll be trading behind price. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see because it could still fail. But yeah, it came into a really nice area. And again, the whole idea for the trade is that we've had a really nice impulse. The market's now pulled back pretty correctively as well. It's a nice pullback. So I'm looking for the continuation of that. Best case scenario, we can swing it back to the high. I mean, best case scenario is we get back to the high here on the left. It's a long way to go. It's probably about like a 200 pip move. Yeah, 230 pip move. So pretty big move there for pound, but it's possible. And I do think we'll get there anyway because we've broken out the consolidation and we did that a while ago. So to me, this is the big fake out we had in April. Now price has made its move. Now I'm looking at a pullback after that and a continuation. So I do think we can continue to trend and do something like this. So yeah, hopefully we can really get going, but we'll see. There's no other market really that's close to finding an entry, I must say. All right, Ben, have a good one. Thank you for coming onto the stream. Hope you see you tomorrow. So yeah, there's no other market that looks good to trade right now in terms of finding entries. So for me, it's kind of just managing pound USD. Not really looking to set alerts anywhere. I like a lot of the yen pairs, I must admit. I like the yen pairs to the downside, particularly Euro yen looks good, particularly Aussie yen looks really good as well. So if these guys can pull back, I definitely will be all over the shorts. So Aussie yen shorts, yes. Euro yen shorts, yes. New Zealand yen shorts 100% if that can pull back decently as well. It's the ones with a lot of momentum because when we do pull back, there's a good chance we'll see follow through. So I do like those. CAD yen, yes, as well. In fact, CAD yen might be the most realistic. So yeah, CAD yen, I like these shorts. It's just that it might take a day or two to retrace. So there's no point me focusing about these currencies right now until maybe Friday or Thursday at least, maybe even next week. So today, I'm not really going to focus on them too much. Out of dollar pairs, I said I'm looking to long Euro USD, but because I'm in pound, there's no point really. I'll just see out pound. There's no point in buying Euro 2, even though this is the level I was talking about on my weekly analysis, but I'll leave that alone. Aussie dollar, I'm not really keen on the longs. I do think we will see some upside, but I think it's most likely going to be retracement. This here was a humongous sell-off this week. A lot of momentum there, so I do think we'll pull back from that. But I think it would just be short term for price to sell off. So I might actually be interested in the shorts, depending how we pull back. I know it kind of goes against my pound USD position, but if I can get pound USD to break even, then I won't really mind. So yeah, something like that for Aussie dollar could look good, but again, that's going to be a few days time. New Zealand dollar likewise as well. This will be a few days time too. I said I was looking for the retest of this low here. We probably won't get back there now, to be honest, before we get to the next major low, which would be this low here. That's what I'm looking for ends of the USD to push into. So really nice sell-off there, rejecting that level. A retest of this area would be a really nice place for a short. You're probably eventually pushing into this area here too, but I need a pullback. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, but again, probably not going to get the pullback today. Silver and gold, I think I'll keep an eye on a bit more closer because these guys could do something very quickly and the trade could come very quickly. So I'll keep an eye a bit closer, but again, I doubt I'd get a trade today. CAD pairs, not really interested in. Cross pairs, not really interested in. And CTF pairs, not really interested in, apart from maybe New Zealand CTF. But again, that pullback is going to take its time too. So there's quite a few, maybe six pairs on my watch list. But again, all of them are due some pullbacks. And all of them, even if they do start pulling back, probably won't give me the pullback I'm after today. So yeah, there's nothing to get too excited about right now, other than just managing the pound USD position. And yeah, we do have some dollar news today, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there from dollar. Hopefully, it's some weakness. That'll be very, very nice if dollar was to do that, because that'll help up my position. But I'm not too sure. How is DXY looking? It's seeing some downsides. It's seeing some down. I don't like the fact we've broken the trend line, but I don't know. Maybe price is doing that to grab a bit of liquidity to help with a move down. I mean, if DXY makes a move like this, then yeah, we're looking good on pound. If it makes a move like that, then yeah, we're not looking good on pound. I don't know. Maybe pound's just gonna be very, very strong, but yeah, I want dollar to be weak. But yeah, the main move I'm looking for the DXY is a push to here. So that's why I do see DXY ending up this week. So yeah, hopefully we can make that move. And then we'll see what happens with pound. But for people looking at euro, this is a nice place to long. Not quite convinced with the price action yet. I think a nice 4-hour engulfing would be a nice entry signal. So if this 4-hour kind of was to push up, close like a nice bullish engulfing, I feel like that's a nice entry signal there. Stop loss. I mean, entry at the kind of closure. Stop loss underneath the low. And then, yeah, see how far we can go. I think this is your first target. Very reasonable. And then if you can break through that, you got the swing high there. But yeah, if I wasn't trading pound, I'll be looking at euro. Manzondi deviation and depth settings. Yeah, so with Fibonacci, this is my settings here. I look at the 0.5, 0.618, 0.786. But particularly, I'm not really so fussed about the Fibonacci. Really, all I want from the Fib really is just 50% and below, because the idea for me with Fibonacci is that I'm buying deeper than other people. Really, that's the way I look at Fibonacci. Because effectively, if this is the swing low and this is the swing high, effectively the market can pull back anywhere within here and continue the trend. If it pulls back below the low here, then we've technically broken structure, and now I don't want to look to buy anymore. So effectively how I want to use the Fibonacci is to buy deeper than everyone else. So everyone buying here, I'm not interested in, but as soon as we cross the 50, now I'm a bit more interested. I know, of course, other people look at the 50, 0.618 as well, but at least we're below the 50, and I'm buying a little bit deeper than other people. So that gives me a bit more confidence in trades. If we're hitting the 0.618, fantastic. If we're hitting the 0.786, fantastic. But effectively, I just want to be below the 0.5. That's my confidence, really. Okay, let's touch on dollar yen. Hey, appreciate it, Sculpey. Have a good one, my man. Hey, that is a beautiful little message there before Sculpey vanishes. Smash the like button before you go, guys. It does really help out the stream. I do really appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at my fib. And yeah, in terms of dollar yen, it is at support here. I think this is the level you're talking about. Really nice swing low. Price is trading at that area, which we could bounce and see some upside from 100%. However, I don't expect it to go too far. There's a lot of bearish momentum in the market right now. Really nice bearish structure. So yes, I do think we'll bounce from here, 154, 500. I'll still wait for a bit more development on the hourly time frame because I'm not quite convinced with the price action. There's a fly there. Not quite convinced with the price action. So even though yes, it looks like we're holding, I think I'll still wait for a more confident close. And then yeah, if we can push up, fantastic. And then I think some sells will look good later on as well. So maybe you can look to buy to sell. But for me, I'm just more interested with the sells, really. And that kind of goes with the rest of the yen pairs too. Aussie yen, I'm looking for the sell. CAD yen, I'm looking for the sell. Euro yen, I'm looking for the sell as well. So yeah, we're at some areas here, you're in as well. We're at some areas where you can see the market is rejecting. So I do think upside is likely, but again, I think it's mainly going to be retracement. And then yeah, I'll be looking to sell it back down, hopefully. So yeah, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. If you have found the stream useful, guys, found it enjoying, informative, educational, please be sure to show some love and hit the like button. It really does help out. And of course, make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. That does help out too. And hit the bell so you don't miss on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified. Check out the Discord channel. It's completely free. I did pin that at the top of the chat. Feel free to join in discussions, share trade ideas. I'll share my trade ideas there, comment on things, chat to you guys, anything trading related, really. So if you are interested by that, feel free to join. The link is at the top of the chat. But guys, I will be live again tomorrow and Friday as well. Same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So hopefully I catch all of you guys back there again. But until then, have a good day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.